If I had a quarter for every person who asked me at Nash Yarn Fest if I was done with my pants, I would probably have about $2, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that was a lot of people that asked. Unfortunately, the pants are not done yet. Oh, I know. Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Nitty Natty. Welcome to episode 266 of the Love in Stitches podcast. I'm in a different spot today. That's because I am at my brother's house watching his dogs this weekend. Kent and I are both here. Hey! So I've got one of his dogs in here with me. This is Belle. Toaster's here in the background. We may have Harry pop in at some point. But yeah, it's probably going to be a fun episode because either they're going to be super calm and just chill here, or they're going to be absolutely crazy. Either way is totally fine. Hi, I know. I am wearing my Nordlig cardigan again. I wear this all the time, and several of you have mentioned how pilly it is. Yeah, I realize it's really pilly. It's pilling in the places where I have my arms rubbing against like the fronts of it, basically where I hold my hands to either knit or spin. I did order a gleaner. Oh my goodness. I did order a gleaner. It has arrived at my parents' house. So once we get back over there, I'm going to be attempting to get the fuzzies off and see how that does. But even if it doesn't, I don't really mind. I feel like this is like such a loved and lived in cardigan. It's so great. Okay, I'll give you some pets. I have not done a ton of knitting this week. It's been a really, really busy week. I haven't done too much knitting and I've done zero spinning, but not to fear. I have lots to show you. I actually have a giveaway to share today, a new make along, and I have acquisitions from Nash Yarn Fest. But before we get into all of that, I want to say a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Blueland. I've been the person who has made their own cleaners at one point in time, but with living in a smaller space and especially with traveling, finding the balance between convenience and being friendly to the planet is key. I have personally been using two of their products for the last several months. The first is their laundry detergent tablets. They are just as convenient as pods, but they take up a quarter of the space and have no single-use plastic. Just toss them in the drum and start your laundry. They come as fragrance-free or in a spring bloom scent. We've been using the spring bloom ones, and I really like the way it adds just a nice light scent to my clothing. I've also been using the toilet bowl cleaners, and I'll admit I was a little skeptical at first, but these really get the job done. Ooh, it's almost time to reorder. Just drop it into the toilet bowl, let it fizz and dissolve, brush, and you're done. Plus, the first time you order, it comes with a cute little tin to store them. When you need more of any of the tablets, you just order refills, which come in sturdy paper packaging that is completely compostable. Blueland has more cleaning solutions, from dishwasher tablets to hand soap to an entire spray cleaner system, plus tons of starter kits if you want to try a few items at a discount. Oh, and it's really affordable. I compared the laundry pods that we were using before to the laundry tablets from Blueland, and they're actually 2 cents cheaper per load when purchased at full price. But if you subscribe, you also get a discount, making them even less. Speaking of, I have a deal for you today. All you need to do is click my link below or scan the QR code on screen, and you can get 15% off your first starter kit. Side note, do you remember when I had a cleaning YouTube channel? It's still out there if you want to go searching for it. Thank you to Blueland for sponsoring today. Now let's get into the projects. Let's start with my travel blanket. So this is what I'm calling my travel blanket, or my Hexie Blanket. It's too big to hold up. It's absolutely enormous. And I am trying to get it finished. Actually, I'm really trying to get it finished by this week. And my goal has been to put 3 Hexies in it each and every day. They look like this. I love this pattern because you get to completely finish and attach the Hexie and weave in your ends and be done with it. And like, as you're making this, you have a blanket to use, right? You're not like leaving things unattached or having to go assemble it all until the end, which is really, really nice. So the week started off pretty good. I was doing well with my 3 hexies per day. I think I did miss one day in the middle of the week, and I thought, well, that's fine. I'll get caught up on the weekend. But then I missed a second day because of Nash Yarn Fest this weekend. And so yesterday I tried to start getting caught back up. Yesterday was Sunday, and I made 6 hexies, but none of them were attached. So I just took a picture of them so you can see the 6 hexies that I made. Those are downstairs. I didn't even bother to bring them up with me, but I do want to share with you the ones that I did add this week. While I'm figuring out where my starting point is, my plan for this is to hopefully add 4 hexies a day this week. And I think I can get caught up, plus the ones that are already made. I'll have to kind of sprinkle those in here and there. When I started this again a few weeks ago, my original goal was to finish like this next weekend. So I still want to try to achieve that goal. It would be such a huge thing to have this blanket finished. It's an absolutely massive project. Who is calling me? Had to answer that because it was the doctor while we're here in Tennessee trying to get all of my yearly doctor's appointments complete. And it's taking a lot of time. You know how that is. Anyway, now let's go back to the blanket. I have found where I started this week. So I like to put a stitch marker in the last completed hexie from the week. So we ended here with Hawaii, and the next place that we went, and this is in order of how we actually traveled, was West Virginia. So in truth, we were in Hawaii and we flew back to Tennessee, and then we drove to West Virginia a few days later, like a week later or something like that. So West Virginia is our next state, and I have this beautiful hexie. This is, let's see, monk and moose fibers, and the colorway is Appalachian Folk Life. We then went to Virginia, and I have 4 Virginia colors, all right here. These are from Fiber Space, and the yarn itself is actually a New York company, Spun Right Round, but they made this set of minis for Fiber Space, a Virginia yarn store, for their birthday. And I don't have it added on here, but I think it was a big birthday, like the 15th birthday of the store or something like that. I'll have to look back. I think we included it in our video tour, but I can't remember. There was a 5th mini in this set, but I'm saving it to include later on in the blanket just for like balance. I think it was a solid, and I just wanted to spread the solid yarns out a little bit. So a little bit of a change in the exact order of travel. Now this one is a sock week yarn. It is a Utah dyer, and it is, oh, I think I don't have it added correctly here yet. Did I even put it on here at all? Oh, dang it. I have some catching up to do on my Ravelry page, because I have a list of all of the hexies, like which number they are, which state, the dyer, and the colorway name. And then I have a picture that also has the same information as a caption so that I can find all of these yarns again when I make another project. If I make another project, they do have labels with them, but the label doesn't have like the state information always. So that's nice to have. But this is from Yarnaceous Fibers, and it is the Petrified Forest colorway that we did for Sock Week last year when we just did the Great Outdoors. And so I have other Utah yarns in the blanket when we traveled to Utah, but this one I just wanted to include because it was part of our adventure. Now we're back to chronological travel, and we are off to Maryland. So these 2 yarns are from a sock set. This was the mini, this is the main skein, and it is called Sunny Disposition. Next up, we are in Delaware. I've got 2 for Delaware. This blanket is massive. I've got 2 for Delaware. This one has kind of a cool story. This is from Allie Rose Artisans. It's called Frosted Wineberry, and I got it in Delaware. The dyer gifted it to me, and they actually travel. Her and her husband, they go from Arizona to Delaware and like back and forth in their, I think it's a RV or trailer, but they actually travel back and forth. So we had a lot in common talking about what it's like to kind of full-time travel, even though we're doing it slightly differently. And they're doing it more long-term than us. we have a lot of things we can relate on. So that was really cool. And it was a really sweet gift. And then this is another Delaware one. This was gifted to me by the yarn store owner of the shop that we visited. And this is I think it's a Pennsylvania dyer, but I got it in Delaware. Wait, why does it say Pennsylvania? Is that right? I'll have to double check that. That's what my notes say right now, but it's from Porter Wool Co. Maybe they moved. I remember the shop owner saying they were a Delaware dyer, but they weren't maybe doing wholesale at the moment, so she gifted this to me. So this is why it's a problem that I didn't put all this information in right away, because now I have to go more from memory than anything else, but I'm doing my best. Okay, looks like I have 2 more that I've added in this week, and these are both, 2 more, but they're from different places. So after Delaware, we went to Pennsylvania. This is from Loop Yarn. It's from Loop Yarn Store. It's Loop Yarn, and it's a one-of-a-kind colorway. And then the last one for this week is from Rhode Island. This is Kin Yarn, and it is called BeachComber. And my next one that I've made is also a Kin Yarn one, and it is called Fiona from Shrek. Like, you know what it is. It's from Shrek. And what's really cool is I've never gotten to use Kin Yarn before, and Jake is no longer dyeing for Kin Yarn. And so somebody gifted me these yarns when I was in Rhode Island, which was really, really nice, because not only were they kind enough to think of me for my blanket and gift me some Rhode Island yarns, but they also gifted me yarn that can no longer be purchased. And then that gave me the opportunity to work with a yarn that I could no longer access. So that feels really, really special and cool. Okay, that's it for the blanket this week. Wow, it'll be crazy if next week I get to show you a finished blanket. Fingers crossed, but no promises. If I had a quarter for every person who asked me at Nash Yarn Fest if I was done with my pants, I would probably have about $2, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that was a lot of people that asked. Unfortunately, the pants are not done yet. Oh, I know. It really was, for some reason, such a busy week. I don't know. I just did not do that much knitting and crochet. Even then, I believe most of this was done with my 30 minutes of knitting and reading, which is not insignificant, especially considering that I have started to increase for the flare. So these are the BeachComber Flares by Brianna Lupino. They are a flare pants pattern. If you have watched any of the podcast episodes in the last 3 months, you've seen this project because I've been working on it for that long. And I keep saying I'm going to have new projects, and I'm not finishing anything. So that just hasn't happened. But here's what they look like. I have made a little bit of movement because I ordered elastic for the top. That is in my Gleaner order. So that should be at my parents' house right now. This is what they're looking like. They're super cute. The yarn that I'm using is also from the designer, The Little Wolf Knits, and it is called Bottoms Up, because the make-along that we are doing with our memberships right now is called Bottoms Up. And truth be told, the make-along is all the way through the end of April, so I'm actually doing fine. I'm staying within the make-along guidelines. And look, I don't have that much more to go. Here's the first leg lined up against the second leg. So I don't want to jinx it, but unless something really bad happens this week, please don't let that happen. These are looking like they could be done. Man, if I have this and the blanket done, what am I going to even do? I think I might just have to celebrate like getting my whips down. I really, really want to get myself back to about 2 projects, because that's really where I thrive best, having a main project, a smaller portable project, and then maybe one other thing like a design or maybe the spinning. I just have too many big projects going on right now, and I really need to knock them off the list before starting anything new. I've worked on one other whip this week, so I did want to share that. And then after the, coming up next, I'm going to add in a little segment here where I'm going to share with you what I got at Nash Yarn Fest. Some of it is from vendors at the festival and some of it is from non-vendors, things that were gifted to me. So I thought that would be fun to kind of just share all of those together. We did do a Nash Yarn Fest vlog, which is more focused on all of the vendors that we saw in the festival itself, which went up on Tuesday, hopefully. I'm recording this on Monday, so we're still working on it, but hopefully it went up on Tuesday without a hitch. So that is all there as well. So last project to talk about. This is the Manhattan Hat by Tote. It's a pretty simple hat pattern, a 1x1 rib, but then it has these really fun decreases at the top that kind of make it stick up a little bit. I've made one of these before, and this one is extra special because I'm making it with my hand spun. If you are starting to spin, you will probably love following Tote because she also started her spinning journey, I think around the same time that I did, like late last year, but she is spinning like a fiend and she is learning so many new things. So like she just recently started or did her first chain ply, and it's been really fun for me as a new spinner to watch another new spinner like just keep trying new things and like sharing their experience on stories and on her posts and stuff. So not only is she a fantastic dyer, but she's a really fun person to follow on Instagram. So yeah, I did actually I kind of doubled my knitting on this week. Most of this I did while at Nash Yarn Fest. I specifically packed this project because it is my smallest and simplest project at the moment. Perfect for, taking around to events. I totally thought I was going to work on it more, but I worked on it on Friday night. On Friday night, there was a smaller event. It was like a 3-hour shopping, and there was a talk by Yarny and Carlos. So I did all of that just about while standing and listening to Yarny and Carlos, which was really fun. I totally thought on Saturday when I went back, Saturday was 10 to 5, that I would at some point sit and enjoy some of the programming that they had going on. They had a ton of stuff, and I never sat down the entire day until the very end of the day. So that's probably all from one moment. I think what I'm learning is that I do a lot of my knitting and crochet on the weekend, and because I didn't really get a weekend, I didn't get a Friday night knitting and crochet session, I didn't get a Saturday knitting and crochet session, and Sunday, man, I was like recovering. I did do those 6 hexies. They didn't get attached, but that's about all I can manage this week. So when I think about it that way, it all really makes sense. I wanted to share my Nash Yarn Fest haul with you and just share some of the vendors that I shopped and some of the other things that I received while I was there. So I did not go into the festival with any sort of shopping plan. I actually kind of had decided that I wasn't going to buy anything. I was mostly set on not buying yarn because I have bought a lot of yarn in the last year and a half. I have a significant, I would say, like a significant enough stash. I can sustain projects for at least this year, no problem. I'm not really on like a no shopping thing right now. I do feel like that's a little too restrictive, but I kind of try to go with like what I'm feeling and like what my goals are. And right now my goal is to reduce my stash. And so that means for the most part, not buying yarn. And I had no projects in mind to buy yarn for. So I was like, my kryptonite is show colorways, and there were a lot of show colorways at Nash Yarn Fest. However, I did so much single skein buying for the travel blanket that it just scratched a little bit. So I wasn't too tempted, which made me pretty proud of myself. As you can see, I did buy some yarn. But what I was really looking for is more fiber related stuff. And there wasn't a ton of fiber there. I did buy some fiber. I will share about that in just a second. There was a dyer that had a lot of really, really fun fiber. I did not end up shopping from them, but we did include them in the vlog. Desert Panda. They're out of Las Vegas, and they had really, really beautiful, bright, fun fiber. I'm sure there were other fiber here and there in the hand-dyed yarn booths. But the other one that sticks out to me is they had a whole feature for the Cumberland Fiber Shed, which includes farms that are in Tennessee and Kentucky, so in the local area. And they had a lot of really cool stuff. They had fiber, they had finished yarns. I did not get anything from there, but I was tempted. I'm really starting to get interested in trying more sheep breeds. So just for educational purposes, that's kind of what I was looking out for as I was, personal shopping during Nash Yarn Fest. But I did acquire some other things. So I think with all things, it's best to go chronologically-ish. So let's start with that. So the first thing that I got is actually a Nash Yarn Fest t-shirt. We're going to open this guy up. I'm not usually tempted by merch, but the logo is really, really cute. And I have recently gotten rid of a lot of my Yarny t-shirts and stuff because I just don't really wear them anymore. And then I'm like, well, this one kind of fits my style. Like I wear these wool t-shirts that have a little pocket on the front. They're boxy all the time. I have 4 of them in different colors. I love them so much. And I feel like the Nash Yarn Fest, even though it's a cotton t-shirt, it kind of fits that style. So maybe I can incorporate it a little bit more, at least when I'm doing yarny things. So I'll show you the back first, actually. It has the Nash Yarn Fest logo, which is super, super cute. And then on the front, it says, "Hello, my name is," and they had really fun name tags for the vendors and also for, I think like most of the people walking around. I never ended up getting a name tag. I don't know where people were getting them from, but they had that kind of like font and different things on a lot of stuff, which was really, really cute. So that's the first thing that I grabbed for myself because it's nice to have another t-shirt. Next, I was gifted some yarn. I met Emily, who is the dyer of Night Bright Fibers out of Georgia. She was not vending, but she was there shopping with her family. And she said she brought this specifically for me to gift me for my birthday, which was a week ago. And she, of course, brought me a pink color. This is her Mother of Pearl Rose colorway. And what you might not be able to see in the camera is that it has these really pretty like orange and pink speckles, like really, really subtle ones. It's so beautiful. I don't have exact plans for this. I've considered putting it in my blanket because I think I still need one hexie to go in there. But after I thought about that, I was like, I don't know if I want to throw in a totally like throw in Georgia at the end because we didn't visit Georgia at the end and it wasn't part of like the year we were traveling. That's kind of how my brain works. So I don't know if I'll be putting this into the blanket. I may or I may not, but I have enough yarn to make like a t-shirt or something. And I wore my twisted t-shirt this weekend at Nash Yarn Fest, and I got lots of compliments on it, which makes me really happy because it's a t-shirt that I feel really good in and really confident in. The pattern is by The Little Wolf Knits, and the yarn, I used an 8-pack of minis plus a full skein from Ruby and Rose's yarn. And it's just such a great fitting shirt for me. And again, I wear a lot of these boxy style t-shirts. It's kind of that. It's a little bit boxy, it's cropped, but it's more dressy than just wearing a t-shirt. And so I'm like, I need more of these. So this potentially could become maybe a twisted t-shirt or another kind of t-shirt. And I feel like it's something I would get a ton of wear on. It actually would be really fun because I think I need maybe slightly more than 2 skeins. I believe the twisted t-shirt is 2 skeins. For my size, I think it's 2 skeins. Actually, I might be fine with just this, but what I'm thinking, go with me here. Maybe we can put the twisted t-shirt pattern photo up here so people can follow along with this. But imagine this is the main part, so the center, and then there's the twisted ribbing on the neck, the sleeves, and the bottom. Another pattern that I've made is the color tip tee, which uses different colors of yarn for those different sections. So it actually could be really fun to use this and then grab some of my different leftovers and make each little twisted rib section like a different color. That could be really cute. So I don't know, that could be really fun, but that is definitely down the road. But thank you, Emily, so much for gifting this to me. Okay, next I bought something from one of the vendors at Nash Yarn Fest. And oh, I'm sorry, are you okay? And that vendor is one you are definitely going to be familiar with. Hold on, I have this open. It is Katrinkles. Katie is out of Rhode Island. If you have seen one of those needle gauges, wooden needle gauges, it's probably Katrinkles. She makes so many cute little Yarny accessories. She had made these like Nashville themed stitch markers that had like a boot and all these different things, and they got sold out like super fast on Saturday. But what I got is something for spinning. So I have been semi in need of a niddy noddy, and it is spelled Niddynoddy, niddy noddy, and it is a tool to skein up your hand spun yarn or any yarn into a hank. So I have been, hand spinning yarn, and when you're done and everything is on the bobbins, you need to put it into a hank so you can soak it and then have the hank to wind the yarn from. So I have been using my Swift, which actually works really well. I enjoy using my Swift. I think it's great, but I am not planning to bring my Swift with me when we go back in the van. And so it was sort of in the back of my mind to at some point get a niddy noddy anyway, because that's actually like the proper way to skein things. When I saw this, I thought this solves all my problems. It gets me a niddy noddy, and it also gets me something that I can travel with. So this is the Katrinkles niddy noddy that breaks down super small and packs flat. It can also be 1 yard or 2 yards. So the 2 center pieces make it a 2 yard thing. And then if you don't use the center pieces at all, and you just put these 2 together like so, it is a 1 yard niddy noddy. But if you want to make it 2 yards, which I probably will be doing most of the time, unless I guess I'm making a mini skein, I don't know. You just put everything together like this, and you have a 2 yard niddy noddy. I just think that's so clever. So I had to get this. I'm really happy with this purchase, and it's another thing for spinning, which is great. I mean, also, even if you're not a spinner, you could use it to reskein your yarn if you have leftovers. I know sometimes people like that because it looks nice in their stash. All right. Then I got another gift, but this one was from a Nash Yarn Fest vendor. This is from Ava of Seismic Yarn, and she's out of California, but she made a Nashville Nash Yarn Fest show colorway. It's called White Limousine, inspired by Dolly Parton, and I believe it's a restaurant that's called White Limousine that's also inspired by Dolly Parton. But the colors, oh, hold on, there you go. The colors are really, really fun. They're super me. And we were chatting with, Kent and I were chatting with Ava in her booth, and we've seen her in a lot of different places, mostly in California. I think we saw her at least 2 shops in California we were talking about. And then at Flock Fiber Fest last year, and now at Nash Yarn Fest. And she was like, I just wanted to give you something to say thank you for including me in your videos. So I really appreciate this. Thank you, Ava. I'm excited to do something with this yarn at some point. I guess that could be another contender for going in the blanket. Actually, yeah, because I could end with Tennessee. Because even though this is a California dyer, I got it in Tennessee, and it's a Tennessee inspired yarn. I like the idea of that actually, because my blanket starts in the heart of it, in the center, with a Tennessee dyer, and then it could kind of end with Tennessee. There's something kind of poetic about that. I'm going to think on that, but that might actually be a good idea. I feel better about that than this one, because it doesn't, in my brain, it doesn't make sense. And also I kind of want to keep these 2 skeins together and full so I can make something else. Okay, 2 more things. Another gift that I got from somebody who was there helping their friends vend but was not a vendor themselves is this adorable bag from Shannon. Shannon, I don't believe has a shop yet, but may have one. But she had a sticker that is, I think, what her shop name will be, which is Shannon Fun Bags, or Shannon Fun Bags, which is really funny and silly. So there you go. And she just made me this bag for, you know, considering my taste, which is pink and more pink. I think this is going to be perfect for spring. Hey, maybe when I start a new project here, hopefully very soon, I can use this bag. And then on the inside, it's like white with gold. It's really pretty. So thank you, Shannon. I love it so much. So see, I didn't buy any yarn, but it came to me. Okay, I bought one other thing at Nash Yarn Fest, and I literally bought it at like $4.59 on Saturday when things were closing. It took me all day Friday and Saturday to think about it, but I bought some fiber. And I know it looks like a heck of a lot, but it is only, I think it's 8 ounces. I think that's going to make me roughly 2 to 3 skeins of like a sport weight yarn is kind of what I'm hoping. So imagine it in yarn. It's actually not a ton of yarn, but it's going to be a new fiber for me to spin. So this I got from Purveyor of Fine Yarns. They're in Wisconsin, in Monroe, Wisconsin, and they get yarns from their surrounding areas and even will travel to go get fiber and like kind of, I don't want to say rescue, but like they get fiber from different places and then they create these beautiful yarns and rovings and different things. So she, just her name on here, Kim. Yeah, Kim was took a lot of time to speak with me, which I really appreciated. She was teaching me about a lot of different wools and fibers that I was unfamiliar with, which was really, really kind. So what really attracted me to this yarn, which is 8 ounces. Each of these balls is an ounce. This is a Rommeldale marl. So the marl part is this one. See how this is 2 different colors? This is really cool. So it's 2 different natural shades of the Rommeldale. Rommeldale. Did I hold that up already? I can't remember. I want to show you so that in case I am pronouncing it wrong, you have a visual of what that looks like. But it's 2 different shades. So I got 4 that are the marl and 4 that are just this lighter color. And my plan is to make a 2-ply. So this would be the first ply, the second ply, or the first single, the second single. I'm trying to figure out the correct terminology. I had someone comment about that what I'm calling a ply is really a single in spinning, but in knitting it's a ply. So I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense what my plan is, but that is definitely down the road. I'm happy I purchased fiber, but I definitely don't need to purchase any more fiber for a while because I have at least 4 upcoming spinning projects. And I think that's good. I think that's good for now because I'm still in the middle of a giant one. All right. That's all of my haul. See, I told you I still have plenty to speak about today. Let's move on to the next segment. Breaking news, we are going to be having a float tote crochet along this year. It is going to start April 4th, which is the first Friday in April, and go all the way through the end of the month through April 30th. The whole plan is that we are going to make the float tote together. So let me tell you a little bit of background. The float tote is my very first published pattern. It came out 7 years ago. And honestly, ever since then, I've been wanting to go back and remake this pattern and just make some improvements and updates to it. I've definitely grown as a designer since then. I feel like I am clearer now than ever with my instructions. That's always my intention is to like get better and better at being a good communicator when I write patterns, because you want to be able to get the pattern and make the thing, right? So I have been working on rewriting the 3 and 5 skein float tote pattern. Eventually, I'm also going to get to the mini float totes, but not at this moment. This cal is specifically for the original float tote, 3 skein size. You can make the larger size if you want. They come in the same pattern. But I have made some updates to the pattern. So let's go through those quickly. The biggest change is that I have made this body part a continuous round so that there is no visible seam. I have also reworked the cups. They used to look like this. They were a little shorter. They had a little notch in them. My thought was when you put your yarn cake in here, you need a little notch for it to like come through, but you really don't. So here's the new version. Here's the old version. And obviously this one looks a little bigger because it's been used and stretched out, whereas this one has not yet been used. So that's a change. And then the instructions themselves are just a lot better. I'm also afraid that I have had the yarn amounts listed wrong for the past 7 years, which I am super embarrassed to admit. But I think with reworking it, I have figured out that I have swapped the main and contrast colors. So I have updated that. I've also fixed it on the Ravelry page. I am so sorry. But that should all be corrected. And then the last big change is that I have made a video tutorial that is going to be included in the pattern so that if you are a newer crocheter, this can kind of be your intro pattern into like following crochet patterns, and you should be able to do it no problem with the instructions and the video combined. So that's all the updates that are coming out. If you have the Ravelry version of the pattern, it will get sent to you. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to send it out immediately or if I'm going to send it out when the make along begins. So let me think on that a little bit. I might have decided by the time this podcast goes up, but I'm still working on that this week. But by the end of the make along, all of the videos and video tutorials, the updated pattern and everything is going to be sent out through Ravelry and updated. If you have purchased this pattern in another place, you can just email me and I can get you an updated copy of the pattern. Okay, so let's talk about the make along. So the make along is completely free. You just need the pattern to participate and then you need to sign up. I'll put the sign up link down below. When you sign up, you're going to get access to a few different things. So first, if you don't already have the pattern, you're going to get everyone's going to get this, but you won't need it if you already have the pattern. Everyone's going to get a 50% off coupon to get the original float tote. So if you don't have the pattern, sign up first. Wait for your welcome email that will have your discount. We're also going to do 2 Zooms throughout the make along, but only if you sign up because I need to be able to email you the Zoom information because I don't want to put it out there publicly. We're going to do a kickoff Zoom on April 4th and we're going to do a closing Zoom on April 30th. They're both at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You will get weekly video tutorials for the float tote. So you're going to get access to those video tutorials earlier than anyone else, I guess, because after the make along is over, I will update them and put like the final link in the pattern. But during the make along, my plan is for us to kind of work through the tote together and break it down week by week. So week 1, you'll get the tutorial for the yarn cups and we will work 3 yarn cups. This is a great place to start because the structure of the yarn cup is the same structure as the bag. So it's really nice to start small and master this before you move on to this if you're a newer crocheter. I have new crocheters in mind for this make along. The second week, we are going to work the tray. So the tray is, I haven't finished this tray yet. Actually, I need to attach everything. But in the final version, the tray has 3 snaps on it. And then the cups have 3 snaps on it. So you can snap your yarn cups into here. This whole bag is called the float tote because I designed it for color work. So in color work, you can have, it depends on the color work you do, floats on the back of your knitting or crochet. And so it's nice to have for a project that uses 3 skeins or more to have them organized like this so that you can just rotate back and forth as you're doing your color work or rotate around and around if you're going in the round. This can sit in the bottom of the bag or you can take it out and set it on a table. And having the snaps not actually attached to the bottom of the bag means you're not going to scratch or snag on any surface. So that's the point of the tray. So week 2, we're doing the tray and we're starting the bottom of the bag. Week 3, we will be working on like the walls of the bag. And then week 4 is a short week. It's only like 3 days. So we're doing the handles and the finishing because it's only a few rounds. Of course, you can do whatever you want during the make along. You don't have to follow this exactly, but I thought it'd be nice to break it down for just, making it doable and easy throughout the month. And then also to send out the video tutorials at a certain pace. So that's, oh wait, there's one more thing. You get access to Discord. The Discord will start on April 1st. So if you want to get access to the Discord on April 1st, and if you want to get the 50% off coupon, make sure you sign up for the make-along by March 31st. Again, the make-along itself is completely free. You just need to purchase the pattern to participate. You can get a 50% off coupon for the pattern if you don't already have it by signing up by March 31st. And then I will still keep the signups open like April 1st and beyond, but we are technically out. We're technically starting on April 4th. If you are part of the Discord, you will have, a community space. There will be a spot to ask pattern questions to me directly. There will be, a spot to post pictures, just all those like fun things that make a make-along fun. And then you'll also be able to enter to win prizes only on the Discord. Just keeping things there is a lot nicer. So that's the plan. So yeah, more information about the Float Tote Cowl can be found down below. I'm really excited because I've been wanting to do this for years. I've been wanting to update the pattern, make a video tutorial, and also host a make-along. So I hope you join us, and if you are a newer crocheter, work on your crochet skills. I think this is the perfect pattern to do that. Okay, I also wanted to share with you some events that are coming up, and I have a little giveaway to do. So the Knit for Food Knit-a-thon is coming up Saturday, April 5th, the day after we start the Float Tote. I am fundraising again this year. I should have looked. Actually, can I look really quick? We've already raised so much money. I think we're getting really close to our goal for this year. So, okay, let me go back. Let me explain what the Knit for Food Knit-a-thon is. It is run by Laura Nelkin, who is a designer. She's wonderful. It raises money for Feeding America, World Central Kitchen, No Kid Hungry, and Meals on Wheels. I think we're going to have Laura come and talk to my membership in late March. I'm talking with her about that just to spread the word even more about this knit-a-thon. So our goal, usually don't do that. Our goal as a Love and Stitches team is to raise $3,500. And let's see where we're at right now. We are at $3,090. That is just crazy. That is so awesome. I am like so proud of us. So when you join to fundraise, you can either donate directly to Team Love and Stitches, or you can create an individual fundraising account. Anyone who raises $100 or more is able to get access to the Zooms that are happening on Saturday, April 5th. So it's great if you are an individual fundraiser and raise those funds yourself. Then you can attach yourself to Team Love and Stitches if you want to. If you're like, actually, I don't really want to mess with like making my own account. I just want to donate easily. You can donate directly to Team Love and Stitches. It is completely up to you, whatever works best for you. I did ask Laura to check in and say, hey, anyone who donates directly to Team Love and Stitches without creating an individual account, am I able to share that Zoom info? And she said, yes. So if you're signed up and donated directly, if you're donated directly to Team Love and Stitches, I will be emailing you before the event. And if you are attached to Love and Stitches as an individual, you should be getting the email on your own. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You can always email me if you have questions. And then last thing here, I just want to remind everybody about Yarn Centric. So Yarn Centric and Maryland Sheep and Wool are our next shows that we're going to be attending. Yarn Centric is on Friday, May 2nd in Frederick, Maryland. It is a separate event from Maryland Sheep and Wool, but a lot of people will go to both because they're like 30 minutes apart from each other, and they're in the same weekend. And Maryland is on Saturday, Sunday, so it works perfect. Yarn Centric is a ticketed event. You can find all the information at yarncentric.com. I'm also going to be doing a meet and greet at Yarn Centric from 1 to 2 p.m., so I'll have more details about that soon. Now on to the giveaway. Yarn Centric is giving away 50 free tickets to Yarn Centric. That's a lot. So just for my followers, 50 free tickets. Here is all you have to do. You just need to email them. It's yarncentric@gmail.com. We'll put it up here. And you need to mention the secret code, which I'm going to tell you right now. It's Toaster. The secret code is Toaster. So if you email them, say, hey, I saw on the Nitty Natty YouTube channel that you're giving away free tickets. If there's any left, I would like one. The secret code is Toaster. And then let them know the time slot that you are looking for. They just wanted me to note that the first time slot starts at 10 a.m. is probably going to fill up really quickly. So they might not be able to give the first time slot. So just go in with that understanding. But yeah, all you need to do is email them, mention Toaster and your time slot, and they will set you up with your free ticket. That's for the first 50 people. So thank you, Mike at Yarn Centric, because we have been communicating through all of this and they are just wonderful. I don't have too many highlights to leave you with this week because the biggest highlight of the week I've already talked about, which is Nash Yarn Fest. If you do want to see more of Nash Yarn Fest, which I totally encourage you to do, we filmed probably at least 30 vendors there. We tried to get as many Tennessee vendors as possible included, and also a ton of other vendors. Of course, we have friends that we've made along the way that we always try to support by showing. So yeah, there's a lot in that video. Overall, Nash Yarn Fest was really, really wonderful. I hope they bring it back next year, but I will let you go to that video because I don't need to repeat myself on all of those things. The other big highlight of the week is just that we're here at my brother's house. Watching his dogs has been fun. The dogs are really sweet together. They love to play. They love to walk. I swear it takes like 3 years, not off Toaster's life. It makes him younger. How do I say that? It makes Toaster act like 3 years younger when we come over here because he's 9 and he's a sweet, sweet little boy, but there are starting to be some signs, you know, of him like not getting around as good. And when we come over here, that all goes away and he's running and playing and walking and doing all of the things, which is just so fun for us to see. It's also just really nice for Kent and I, having not lived in a home alone for the last 2 years, sorry. You know, when we're in our van, it's like our home, but it's like not comfortable. So it almost feels like we're in like the world's nicest Airbnb this weekend. My brother and his wife have a beautiful home and we get to, you know, have full access to everything, cook in the kitchen, all of that stuff, which is just really nice. It's kind of like playing house a little bit in a really, really nice house. So it's been absolutely lovely. Okay, I think that's everything for this video. Don't forget, I've got my link for Blueland down below if you want to check that out. Also, I will put on the screen here the video for Nash Yarn Fest if you want to go and watch that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, hopefully with a finished object. Bye!